Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Smequle. In today's video, we are taking the top 30 players in the NBA, duplicating them all 15 times, and giving them all their own team. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure that you do subscribe. We're just going to go right into 2K20 here and check out who the top 30 NBA players are and what teams they're going to be playing for. So starting off here, we got the Philadelphia 76ers, and we got Joelle and Bead for the 76ers. He's the highest rated player on the 76ers, and pretty much how we chose the top 30 players, we just took the 30 highest rated players in the NBA, and whoever was the highest on a certain team, they get to stay on that team, and then the other player actually gets a different team. So starting off here, of course, we got 15 of Joelle and Beads on the 76ers. On the Bucks, we got 15 Giannis's. The Bulls, we got 15 Ben Simmons. Of course, he's normally on the 76ers, and the Bulls didn't have anybody, so he's now on the Bulls. Cavaliers got Kyrie. Since he's the second highest on the Nets, we put him on his old team. Celtics got Kemba Walker. Clippers got Kawhi Leonard. Grizzlies got Mike Conley. Hawks got Rudy Gobert. Heat got Jimmy Butler. Hornets got Paul George. The Jazz got Donovan Mitchell. Kings got DeMar DeRozan. Knicks got Porzingis. Lakers got LeBron. Magic got D'Angelo Russell. Mavs got Luka Doncic. Nets got Kevin Durant. Nuggets got Nikola Jokic. Pacers got Victor Oladipo. Anthony Davis for the Pelicans. We got Blake Griffin on the Pistons. Raptors got Pascal Siakam. James Harden on the Rockets. LaMarcus Aldridge on the Spurs. Klay Thompson on the Suns. Russell Westbrook on the Thunder. Karl Anthony Towns on the Timberwolves. Damian Lillard on the Trailblazers. Stephen Curry on the Warriors, and Bradley Beal on the Wizards. If there's a player that you think should be in the top 30 overall players, if he's not on there, it's because he's not one of the top 30 rated players in NBA 2K20. All of this is based off 2K20 ratings. So we are in my league right now, and we're just going to simulate a season with 15 of the top 30 players all on their same team, and see what team ends up winning the NBA championship. Leave your comment down below on who you think it is going to be. In my personal opinion, I think it is going to go to Giannis. I mean, he's just a complete beast in NBA 2K20. He's almost unstoppable. Whenever I play off against Giannis, I just cannot do anything to stop him. Let's find out what ends up happening, who ends up winning. See you guys at the end of the season. We made it to the end of the season. Giannis ends up getting MVP, and he wins MVP pretty much every season in 2K20. He also gets 6th man of the year, and then Kawhi Leonard gets defensive player. It would have been funny if Giannis won every single award. Kawhi also getting most improved player, and then Alvin Gentry. So Anthony Davis, he's on the Pelicans. So Alvin Gentry getting coach of the year. Anthony Davis might have done the best this NBA season. All NBA teams do not really matter at all because it's all the same players on every team. But let's go over and check out these league standings in the East. We got the Bucks on top with 71 wins. Then we got the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls had Ben Simmons. Then we got the Hornets, who had Paul George. We got the 76ers with Embiid. Rudy Gobert on the Hawks. Siakam on the Raptors. Durant on the Nets. And Kyrie on the Cavs, barely making it into the playoffs. Then we had Porzingis, Jimmy, Bradley Beal, Oladipo, Blake Griffin, Kemba Walker. And doing the worst in the East, we have D'Angelo Russell, only getting 8 wins this entire season. Heading over to the West now, we had Anthony Davis up on top with 73 wins, the most wins in the entire NBA. Then we got Kawhi Leonard, Jokic, Karl Anthony Towns, James Harden, LeBron James, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Damian Lillard. Stephen Curry so close to making it into the playoffs. Let's see who did the worst in the West. It's actually going to be Mike Conley doing the worst, and DeMar DeRozan. They actually both get 18 wins during the season. Very poor performances by them. So that's going to give us our seeding for the playoffs. We got Anthony Davis at the top in the West and Giannis at the top in the East. I'm going to come over here to team stats and find out which teams scored the most per season and which teams were best on defense. So Harden actually scored the most points per game in the entire season. Giannis was right behind him. Then we had Anthony Davis. And then Ben Simmons did very well as well. And then in terms of defense, we got Anthony Davis allowing the least amount of points per game And we got Kawhi Leonard as well as Giannis. So some of the best defenders in the league, allowing the least amount of points per game, which makes a lot of sense. Ben Simmons shot the best field goal percentage. Kevin Durant shot the best from the three-point line. Joel Embiid had the most rebounds per game. Ben Simmons had the most assists per game. Kawhi Leonard had the most steals per game. And Anthony Davis had the most blocks per game. We're just going to hop right in the playoffs now and find out what happened. Our first win of the first round goes to Giannis, getting an easy 4-0 sweep against Kyrie Irving. And this series was not close at all. Just looking at the score of this game, Giannis up by 43. He dominated. Anthony Davis also getting a 4-0 sweep against Damian Lillard. And this series wasn't close at all, just like the Giannis series. So the two top seeds moving on quite easily from the first round. Rudy Gobert versus Joelle Embiid. Rudy Gobert up 3-1 in the series. If he wins this, he moves on, and a big defensive stop for Rudy Gobert. And Joel Embiid's going to have to foul right here. If he hits these free throws, he's going to secure a victory right here. First shot is good, and the second shot is no good. Joel Embiid with the board, and the full court shot is no good. So Rudy Gobert moving on to the second round with a 4-1 victory over Joel Embiid. Pascal Siakam getting a 4-2 victory over Paul George. So a pretty big upset right here for Pascal Siakam. Paul George clearly seen as the better player, but somehow Siakam ends up winning this series. LeBron James versus Nikola Jokic in game number 6. Jokic is leading the series 3-2, and he has a 6-point lead with 50 seconds left in this game. Looks like he's going to be moving on to the second round. Nikola Jokic inside, but he misses the bucket. LeBron still with a chance to win this. LeBron with the three to try to come back. It is no good, and Nikola Jokic is going to defeat LeBron to move on to the second round. And Karl Anthony Towns with the 4-2 victory over James Harden to move on to the second round. Looks like we're seeing a lot of the centers doing very well in this simulation. Ben Simmons with a 50-point lead over Kevin Durant in game number 6, and that's going to help him move on to the second round. This game was just not close at all. And it's a pretty big upset here for Ben Simmons. Durant seen as one of the best players in the entire NBA. And then our final series in round number 1, Kawhi Leonard gonna beat LaMarcus Aldridge in game number 6. So these are gonna be our 8 players moving on to the second round. A few upsets in the East, but no upsets in the West. And our first victory of round number 2 is going to go to Ben Simmons with an easy 4-0 sweep against Pascal Siakam. This one hurts for me because the Raptors are my favorite team. Ben Simmons is going to be moving on here. Another thing about Ben is he was the second highest player on his team, so he didn't get his own team, but he made it further than Joel Embiid. And we got another sweep in the second round of the playoffs. This time it is Anthony Davis getting a sweep against Karl Anthony Towns. In this final game, he won quite easily right here, up by 30 points with 30 seconds left. And we have a third sweep in the second round. This time it's Giannis with the 4-0 sweep against Rudy Gobert. And our final series of the second round is actually going to go to game number 7 between Kawhi Leonard and Nikola Jokic. But with only 25 seconds left in the game, Kawhi Leonard up by 19 points. He's going to pull this victory away and make it on to the conference finals. So in the Western Conference Finals, we got Anthony Davis facing off against Kawhi Leonard. And in the East, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo facing off against Ben Simmons. These guys were both the top seeds in each of their conferences. So let's see which two teams will make the NBA Finals. Starting off in the Western Conference Finals, Anthony Davis is actually going to get a pretty easy 4-0 sweep against Kawhi Leonard. So in the West, Anthony Davis did not drop a single game to make it to the NBA Finals, and he just dominated against the next best player. In the East, on the other hand, it was a little closer, but not by much. Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to end up getting the 4-2 victory over Ben Simmons, and he is going to be our second player making it to the NBA Finals. So in the NBA Finals, we got Anthony Davis facing off Giannis Antetokounmpo. The two top seeds from each conference are going to be facing off against each other. I did choose Giannis to be the player to actually win this. Let's see what ends up going on. Anthony Davis has not lost a single game yet, whereas Giannis dropped 2 to Ben Simmons. So let's start this simulation off. AD with a 2-1 lead, and Anthony Davis with a 3-1 lead over Giannis in the NBA Finals. And with only 45 seconds left remaining in Game 5, Anthony Davis with a 3-1 lead over Giannis. He is going to be your NBA champion. He's up by 12. Zero chance that Giannis comes back here. So taking the top 30 players in NBA 2K20, duplicating them 15 times, and giving each player their own team, it looks like Anthony Davis is actually the best player in the entire game. I mean, I was so close to actually guessing the correct player. I picked Giannis, ended up taking the L in the final round right here. Anthony Davis winning fair and square. But that is going to be it for this video. We can watch this celebration. By Anthony Davis. If you guys are new here, of course, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. This has been your boy Smequle though, and I will see you next time. Peace.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone in progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the